it once again, and I forgot to record today. Okay, so I'll start the recording also. So what I was saying is a current account in case of holding and company, when they say current account means what? Receivable or payable. Okay, so now the question says that the current account in health and safety stood at 22,000 on that day. Correct. So it is standing at 22,000 means either there is goods are sold on credit, either by parent company or by subsidiary company. So let us assume that goods are sold by parent company. Okay, so if goods are sold, okay, and amount is not yet received, okay, amount is receivable, तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे उसको पेरेंट्स के बुक में हम लोग उसको डेटर्स करके दिखाएंगे. इन बुक्स ऑफ पेरेंट इट विल बी डेटर्स. Okay, and the amount will be 22,000. Similarly, अगर पेरेंट के बुक्स में डेटर है तो सब्सिडरी के बुक्स में क्या हो गया? क्रेडिटर हो गया ना. सब्सिडरी के बुक्स में क्रेडिटर हो गया. ओके, सो दिस इज द सिचुएशन. सॉरी, दिस इज 22,000 नॉट 2,20,000. सो पेरेंट्स के बुक में डेटर है 22,000 का, सब्सिडरी के बुक्स में क्रेडिटर है 22,000 का. Okay, so parent will say I am receivable 22,000, subsidiary will say I am payable 22,000. तो इसको हम लोग लिखेंगे receivable, and this will be payable. Okay, that is the meaning of current account. Okay, now during consolidation को payables के अगेंस्ट सेट ऑफ करेंगे. डेटर्स का रिसीवेबल, ओके, डेटर्स में जो रिसीवेबल है वो क्रेडिटर्स में के पेएबल के अगेंस्ट सेट ऑफ करेंगे. डजंट मैटर इफ इट इज वन इज ऑफ पेरेंट कंपनी, अनदर इज ऑफ सब्सिडियरी कंपनी. दोनों का मिलके एक ही बैलेंस शीट बन रहा है. बोथ ऑफ देम आर हैविंग वन सिंगल बैलेंस शीट. व्हेन दे आर हैविंग वन सिंगल बैलेंस शीट, द रिसीवेबल्स विल बी सेट ऑफ अगेंस्ट द पेएबल. द बैलेंस इन करंट अकाउंट, ओके, सो द बैलेंस इन करंट अकाउंट will be set off against each other. Okay, and this will be what? This will be nil. So during consolidation ये 22,000 हम लोगों को नहीं दिखना चाहिए. So what will be the two effect? First effect is reduce from balance sheet of parent company, asset side, debtors में से less करो. Correct. And second effect is what? Second effect will be reduced from balance sheet of subsidiary company, liability side from creditors. Correct. पर balance sheet तो एक ही है ना. So instead of that, what I'll say, I'll just not call it as parent का balance sheet or subsidiary का balance sheet. I'll call it first effect reduce from asset side, second effect reduce from liability side. See if this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Whenever there is transaction just between what? Investment in securities. Okay, investment in securities other than equity shares. Okay, so that will come under intra-group transaction. Okay, so in short intra-group is very easy. Intra-group में asset में से भी less करो, liability में से भी less करो. Okay, how much amount should be deducted? That will be given to you in the problem.
सर सिक्योरिटीज वाला पॉइंट वापस बोलना एक बार.
Okay, so intra-group transaction can be of the following. Okay, number one, receivables and payables bid. पेरेंट एंड सब्सिडियरी ये भी तो हो सकता है ना. पेरेंट ने कैश भेजा है, पेरेंट ने चेक भेज दिया है. ओके, बट सब्सिडरी के अकाउंट में वो क्रेडिट नहीं हुआ है, और पैरेंट कंपनी हैज सेंट द कैश but subsidiary company has not yet deposited that cash in its book of accounts. Okay, so even that can be an intragroup transaction. Or third can be parent has made an investment in securities of subsidiary company other than shares. Okay, because if it is investment is in shares, वो तो हम लोग अपना गुडविल के वर्किंग नोट में दिखाएंगे. Okay, any investment in shares will always be shown in the goodwill working note of parent company. Okay, but investment in securities other than shares will also be what? Parent is investing in securities of subsidiary. So even that will be an intragroup transaction. Okay.
Oh, understood.
Okay, so intragroup transactions will be deducted. So here दो effect क्या हो गए? Less from asset, correct? Deduct from asset. Less from, I'll say less from debtors, okay, and less from creditors. Okay, now second one you tell me, कहाँ से लेस करेंगे?
एक तरफ कैश इन ट्रांसफर, एक तरफ बैंक से
Less from cash in hand,
कैश इन हैंड.
and less from cash at bank. Okay, and if this is the case, parent has made an investment in securities of subsidiary company.
Less cash debt.
अरे बाकी लोग भी बोलो, जरा बात करो.
सर सेकंड वाला नहीं समझ में आया.
Second वाला cash in transit. Cash in transit means what? Parent company has sent the cash, okay, but subsidiary company has not yet deposited that cash in its bank. Okay, so cash has not exchanged the accounts, correct? So that will be cash in transit. Transit मतलब क्या है? भेजा है पर मिला नहीं है. Okay, but that is between parent and subsidiary, so that is a intragroup transaction. Okay, so intragroup transaction has to be deducted from asset side of parent company and liability side of your subsidiary company. Okay?
Subsidiary.
Correct, but
Yes,
but since it is cash in transit, यहाँ पे क्या होगा? कैश में से लेस करेंगे और बैंक में से भी लेस करेंगे. We'll have to deduct from cash also. We'll have to deduct from bank also.
Okay, sir.
Okay, but third one is parent has made an investment in securities of subsidiary company other than equity shares. So now what will happen?
इन्वेस्टमेंट की वैल्यू बढ़ेगी.
इन्वेस्टमेंट की वैल्यू बढ़ेगी या कम होगी? इंट्रा ग्रुप में ऑलवेज वी एलिमिनेट द ट्रांजैक्शन. इंट्रा ग्रुप ट्रांजैक्शन में वी विल ऑलवेज एलिमिनेट द इंट्रा ग्रुप ट्रांजैक्शन. सो दिस विल बी लेस फ्रॉम इन्वेस्टमेंट.
लेस फ्रॉम इन्वेस्टमेंट, सॉरी. हाँ,
सो पेरेंट के हाथ में लेस फ्रॉम इन्वेस्टमेंट किया, एंड यहाँ पे लेस फ्रॉम लायबिलिटीज, बिकॉज सिक्योरिटीज तो लायबिलिटी साइड में अपीयर हो गए ना. सो लेस फ्रॉम लायबिलिटीज.
So can you please explain this liabilities part again?
Okay, so for example, P company has made investment in debentures of S company. Okay, shares नहीं, shares किया तो वो तो अपना गुडविल कैपिटल रिजर्व के वर्किंग नोट में आएगा. But P company has made investment in debentures of S company worth, let us say, $500,000. Okay, so this is a pure intragroup transaction. It is between P and S. Okay, so we don't need to show it. So P के investment में से less करेंगे. So that will come from asset side. Okay, and S company के debentures में से less करेंगे. So that will come from liability side.
Okay, sir.
So when we prepare a consolidated balance sheet, there is no concept of P's balance sheet and S balance sheet. So from the consolidated balance sheet, investment asset side will get a deduction, and debentures liability side will also get a deduction. Okay.
So even the preference shares are treated in this way?
Yes, because our 60% holding is only in equity shares. So anything other than equity shares will be treated as securities. Will be treated as securities for the purpose of consolidation.
Okay, sir.
Okay, done. Clear
Hmm.
till here? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So in this question, we had intragroup transaction of receivable and payable. So that's why what we are doing, we are deducting from debtors and creditors. Okay, next. So now we can start our question. Now we can start with our main working notes. Yeah.
In the cash transaction, why are we deducting cash 2 times? Less cash and less bank.
See what is happening, cash in transit hai na? Cash in transit means what? I have sent the cash. Okay, sorry, I have deducted kya? Sorry, this will be less from cash and here it will be add in bank, not sorry. So that will give a double effect. So less from cash and add in bank, because यहाँ से cash भेजा है तो वो cash less होना चाहिए था and वहाँ पे बैंक में cash add होना चाहिए था, so that it should be added in the bank, not deducted.
Zero हो जाएगा net.
हाँ, zero. Net balance should be zero. Net balance should be zero. Okay. Good that you pointed out. So वो गलती से less लिखा था. So it should be add in bank. So net effect should be zero. Net effect should be nullified. Okay. So यहाँ पे देखो डेटर्स में एक इफेक्ट है, क्रेडिटर्स में एक इफेक्ट है, तो टैली हो गया. असेट और लायबिलिटी दोनों में से लेस किया, टैली हो गया. थर्ड में भी इन्वेस्टमेंट इन सिक्योरिटीज, सो इन्वेस्टमेंट असेट साइड से लेस किया एंड लायबिलिटी डिबेंचर साइड से लेस किया, अगेन नलीफाई हो गया. एंड कैश इन ट्रांजेक्ट मींस व्हाट, कैश में से लेस किया एंड बैंक में ऐड किया, अगेन नलीफाई.
पीआरएस की तरह होगा.
पीआरएस की तरह हो गया. इट विल बी लाइक अ बीआरएस. Okay. So let us move ahead then. Let us move ahead. Acha, what about investment in equity shares? If P company invests in equity shares of S company, that is what we need, na? That is what we need for our percentage holding. तो वो मत कैंसिल आउट करो, तो वो कैंसिल आउट किया तो कंसोलिडेशन का कंसेप्ट ही नहीं बचेगा. Okay, don't cancel that out. That's why I have said other than shares. So let me write other than equity shares. Let me write other than equity shares. So that will be even better. Okay. So now we'll begin our main problem. Okay. So now we want net assets of subsidiary company. Net assets of subsidiary company on which dates? On acquisition date and on reporting date. Reporting date. Okay. So net assets में क्या क्या आता है? Net assets में आता है equity plus reserves and plus whatever adjustments. Plus whatever adjustments. Okay. So let us see. So in this problem, what all we have? We have share capital and retained earnings. So
सर आवाज गायब हो गई.
no.
सर आवाज ही गायब हो गई.
Now is it clear?
हाँ सर, आपने क्या बोला था सर? नेट एसेट्स का इक्विटी प्लस फेयर वैल्यू, उसके आगे कुछ समझ ही नहीं आया.
Equity plus reserves plus adjustment. Net asset is always equity plus reserves plus adjustment, right?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी. फिर से गायब.
सर फिर से गायब होगी.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
सर कनेक्शन धोखा दे रहा है.
Okay, now is it clear?
सर बीच में क्लियर होती है, बीच में गायब हो जाती है.
तो अभी क्लियर है क्या आवाज?
हाँ अभी क्लियर है.
हाँ ठीक है. So अगर क्लियर नहीं है तो बोलता हूँ, I'll again shift between the networks. Okay. So as I was saying, net assets of subsidiary company will have equity plus reserves plus adjustment. Okay. So in this problem, equity and reserve, we only have share capital and retained earnings. So I have written capital and retained earnings. Okay.
Hmm.
For adjustment part of the thing, net assets, we don't have fair value adjustment, but we do have perp now.
Hmm.
Correct. So we'll have
Hmm.
perp. This perp effect will also be there, na?
हाँ,
Because it is transferred from subsidiary to parent. So that's why it should be it should be given an effect in subsidiary company. Okay.
Hmm.
So that will be perp will be the third adjustment now. Okay. There is no fair value. There is no fair value. There is no depreciation. So generally this can be fair value adjustment. There can be depreciation. There can be perp. Okay. So in this problem, there is no fair value. There is no depreciation. So we'll directly adjust for the perp. Okay. So now capital on reporting date, it's given. Subsidiary company का देख लो reporting date पे क्या है 5,000 and 31,000. So on reporting date in the books of subsidiary company, capital is 5 and 31. So I'll just write here 5,000, 31,000. Okay. Now on acquisition date, have they given anything on acquisition date in the question?
Retained earnings.
Retained earnings दिया है. Retained earnings stood at 5,000. So
Hmm.
retained earnings is 5,000 on acquisition date. And nothing has been mentioned about equity capital. So it will remain the same.
Hmm.
Okay. So this was given. And here no change. There is no change. Right. Now, perp. Perp, should we write on acquisition date or should we write on reporting date?
Reporting date.
Reporting date.
date. Correct.
Reporting
Because
date.
provision is a
अच्छा, provision है.
year-end adjustment. Provision is a year-end adjustment. So we'll write it on reporting date. 4,000. Okay. So now pay attention. Huh? Perp is a provision. So should we add provision or should we deduct provision from profits?
Deduct.
So I'll write it in negative because these two, retained earning is a profit. Retained earning is a profit, whereas provision will be always made against the profit. So we'll have to deduct the perp.
Hmm.
Okay, done. So we'll get net assets. Net assets of the company, of subsidiary company, of subsidiary company on acquisition date and on reporting date. So acquisition date पे आ गया 10,000. Okay, and here it will be how much? 32,000, right? 32,000. So post acquisition profit will be the difference between the two. So that will be 32 minus 10.
22,000.
22,000 is the post acquisition profit. क्या करेंगे post acquisition profit को?
9:1 में divide.
Correct. We'll split. 90% will go to parent company. Okay, and 10% will go to NCI. 10% will go to NCI. So parent company means where? Where should we record?
Group reserves.
Group
Okay,
reserves.
Group reserves. Correct. Group reserves will be. क्या हो गया रे? एक मिनट. Sorry. हाँ. So group reserves will be 22,000 into 90% into 90%, and NCI will be 22,000 into 10%. Done. No problem not till here.
नहीं है.
No, sir.
Okay, next. Now, next is what? Your how much we have gained or lost on acquisition, gained or lost on acquisition. So for that, what will we prepare? That goodwill or capital reserve. So working note, whatever number is that, working note, जो भी number है. So goodwill or capital reserve. Goodwill or capital reserve. Okay. So we'll start with what? Fair value of purchase consideration. जो actually pay किया अपन ने, correct? Which is actually paid. Then fair value of NCI, which will be payable. Okay, so that will give us the total amount in books of parent company. उसमें से less करेंगे. Less, what should we deduct?
Net asset of subsidiary.
Net assets of Subsidiary on which date?
Acquisition.
Acquisition
On
date.
acquisition date. Correct. Now let us find these two. So
And also
this net
impairment.
assets, हाँ impairment है but वो बाद में आएगा, पहले इतना कर लेते हैं, then we'll go for impairment. Okay, so fair value of purchase consideration. How much is the fair value? Let us see in the problem. H has bought 90% of equity share capital. Amount is not given. If amount is not given, we can directly
34,000.
we can directly take from your balance sheet,
Invest.
asset side,
Investment.
investment. So investment in safety at cost, they have given 34,000. So this amount of 34,000, I'll write it as purchase consideration, which is actually paid. Actually paid. That's why appearing in the books of accounts 34,000. Payable to NCI is how much? They have given that also in the adjustments. Health uses fair value method to value NCI, and NCI is at acquisition was $4,000. So payable is $4,000. So total amount in books of company is 38,000. Okay. And what was the actual amount? What was the actual value of the company? Only 10,000. Actual amount of the company was only 10,000 on acquisition date. Okay. So the company whose value is 10,000, we are paying them 38,000. So we are having a loss.
Goodwill में जाएगा.
Correct. We are paying extra. Why we are paying extra? It is for the goodwill of the company. 38 minus.
So most of the time it is always goodwill, right?
Goodwill. हाँ, impairment करेंगे ना. पहले goodwill, ये तो normal हो गया. This is goodwill before impairment. Okay. This is goodwill before impairment. Now they have given what they have given in the second paragraph on page 2, second paragraph. Goodwill has suffered an impairment of 10,000. So less impairment of goodwill, less loss due to impairment, less loss due to impairment. So how much is the loss? Loss is 10,000. 10,000 is the loss. Correct. Now this is a loss. This loss is after acquisition. Correct.
90:10 में बटेगा.
So split between your parent company, मतलब group reserve will be 90% and NCI will be 10%. Always remember, any profit or any loss after acquisition is always split. Okay. So 10,000 into 90% will go in group reserves. It is a loss, it will be deducted, and 10,000 into 10% will go to NCI. Okay. So doubt is per value, is it 4,000 or 6,000? Okay. I'll just come to that. Okay. Profit is 6,000, right? Profit is 6,000, 18,000 into 50 by 150. Profit is 6,000, but I don't want profit. I want what? Provision on unrealized profit. PERP, na? Unrealized profit. So unrealized means what? Unrealized means unsold. Unrealized means unsold. Okay. So unsold means what? Whatever appears in inventory is unsold. So they have said in the question that 2/3 of these goods remained in the inventory at the year end. If 2/3 of goods are in the inventory, means 2/3 goods are unsold. So total profit is 6,000. Okay. I will not make provision on the entire profit. I'll make provision only on the profit related to unsold goods. Okay. So 6,000 is the profit of entire goods, correct? And 4,000 is what? 4,000 is profit related to unsold goods.
PERP itself is a provision on unsold goods.
Correct. So PERP is provision. So वो हम लोग 6,000 नहीं लेंगे, 4,000. Okay. Next.
सर नेट एसेट्स कहाँ दे रखा है 10,000?
निकाला ना हम लोग ने नेट एसेट. नेट एसेट दिया नहीं है, पर नेट एसेट में हम लोगों को क्या पता है? इन नेट एसेट्स व्हाट वी टेक इक्विटी प्लस रिजर्व्स प्लस एडजस्टमेंट. ओके. सो इक्विटी में हम लोग ने शेयर कैपिटल लिया ऑन एक्विजिशन डेट. रिजर्व्स में हम लोग ने प्रॉब्लम में से रिटेन अर्निंग्स लिया ऑन एक्विजिशन डेट. करेक्ट. एंड पर्प एक्विजिशन डेट पे आता ही नहीं है, पर्प तो रिपोर्टिंग डेट पे आता है. ओके. सो
वर्किंग नोट 1 में वही कैलकुलेट करते हैं ना हम लोग.
अरे अनुज एक मिनट. if I'm explaining, don't interfere in between. कुछ डाउट है तो तुम बात करो. Okay, I'll explain the remaining thing. Okay, So in case of net assets, capital is 5,000, retained earnings is 5,000, correct? And adjustment is not there on acquisition date. Okay, adjustment was not there on acquisition date. So net assets on acquisition is only 10,000, 5,000 plus 5,000.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay. तो वही 10,000 वही यहाँ पे वर्किंग नोट 2 का 10,000. So I'll just write over here working note 2. Working note 2 का 10,000 I have taken over here. So net assets is on two dates. Net asset is on acquisition date also and on reporting date also. I'm only taken from acquisition date. Okay. So goodwill is 28,000. Goodwill is 28,000. Loss due to impairment is 10,000. This 10,000 will be split between group reserves 9,000 and NCI 1,000. Okay. And therefore final goodwill carried to balance sheet will be 18,000. So see, I have given two effects of goodwill impairment. Okay, 10,000 I have deducted from asset, just like depreciation. Okay, 10,000 I have deducted from asset, and asset value has reduced to 18,000. So that is the one effect. And second effect of 10,000, I'll split in two parts. Okay, and that 10,000 I'll give 90% in group reserve and 10% in NCI. Okay, clear till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next. So now finally we have known whether we have acquired or lost, sorry, we have gained or lost on acquisition. So in this case we have lost. Okay. So goodwill was supposed to be 28,000, but goodwill is again subject to impairment. So that impairment also we have to adjust. Okay. So main working notes are done. Now only remains is what? The calculation of NCI and group reserves. Okay, देखते फिर. So NCI में क्या क्या आएगा? Payable to NCI. Okay, add profit share if any, and less share of loss if any. And group reserves में भी we'll start with what? Retained earnings of parent company. Retained earnings of parent company. Okay, add profit share if any, and less share of loss if any. Okay, so how much is the payable to NCI? How much is payable to NCI? ये निकाला ना अपन ने फेयर वैल्यू ऑफ एनसीआई. Correct, fair value of NCI payable is 4,000. Correct, 4,000. So payable to NCI was 4,000. Okay, now is there any profit share that we want to put to NCI?
हाँ, हमने ऊपर निकाला है.
200.
Perfect. Post acquisition profit निकालेंगे ना अपन. So 2,200 NCI का part. So that will be profit share 2,200. You can just give the cell reference. That is okay. 2,200 will be added. Correct. And loss of 1,000. It is a loss, so it will be deducted. So 1,000 loss will be deducted. So final NCI amount to the balance sheet will be a sum of all of these. $5,200. Okay. Now same way for group reserves. Retained earnings of the parent company. Group reserve is nothing but retained earnings of parent company is how much? 159. It is 159,000. So 1,59,000 is the retained earnings. Now same way profit share of parent company, it is given. Post acquisition ka 90%, 19,800. And loss of what? Loss of impairment ka share 9,000.
9,000.
Negative. हो गया. Correct. And pay attention, pay attention. What if in case of perp, the question had said safety has not transferred, health has transferred to safety. So then perp would have come over here in the group reserves. Okay, then perp will come in group reserves and it will not come under working note 2. यहाँ पे perp नहीं आएगा फिर.
तो वहाँ कैलकुलेट ही नहीं होगा मतलब।
कैलकुलेट करेंगे बट हम लोग सब्सिडरी में डालेंगे क्या पर्क फिर?
अच्छा रिवर्स हो रहा है इधर, ठीक है।
Correct.
समझ-
So if parent company is the seller, why will we adjust in the books of subsidiary, na? Net asset is only subsidiary ka adjustment. Net asset is only for adjustment of subsidiary. So if the parent company had initially sold the goods, then perf will not appear in here. Perf will not appear here. Correct? Perf will not appear here. Perf would directly have appeared in the group reserves. Everyone got this concept?
Yes, sir.
तो वो भी माइनस होता है ना सर?
हाँ माइनस. पर्प इज प्रोविजन. प्रोविजन हमेशा प्रॉफिट में से माइनस ही होगा. ओके. Provision is always adjusted against the profit, so it will be deducted. So now we have the group reserves also done. हो गया सब कुछ. Now let us prepare the balance sheet, consolidated. So consolidated SOFP. Formatting पे ध्यान नहीं दूंगा मैं. I'll just prepare the balance sheet. Okay. So पहले तो non current assets में property, plant and equipment वो तो पूरा दिखेगा. So PPE will be parent का 100 and subsidiary का 30. So 100 plus 30. 100,000 plus 30,000 ना. So अपन भी in thousands ही लिखते चाहिए तो in thousands. Okay, so that will be 130,000. Next, PP के बाद investment लिखोगे क्या? 34 लिखोगे क्या?
नहीं.
नहीं, because we have already adjusted for the entire 34,000. Will not write that. But non current asset में और एक चीज आएगा.
गुडविल.
Goodwill how much? 28,000 or 18,000? कौन सा लेंगे?
18,000.
18,000.
18,000.
Because we have adjusted the impairment loss. After impairment, we'll take 18,000. Okay, so non-current asset is done. So now let us come to current asset. So I'll just write this as non-current asset. And now we'll adjust the current assets. So current assets में inventory. Inventory is 90 plus 20. बराबर ना? Inventory should be 110.
No, sir, we will reduce PPR.
Correct, because provision of unrealized profit वो inventory का ही part है. So inventory will be 90 plus 20 and minus that perp का second adjustment किया नहीं ना अपन ने. First adjustment of perp was put in net assets over here. First adjustment was put in net assets of subsidiary. And second effect we have to give in what? We have to give the second effect in inventory 4,000. Don't forget that, नहीं तो balance sheet match नहीं होगा तुम लोगों का. So 90 plus 20 minus 4. So कितना आएगा? 106. Right? Next. Receivables कितना लिखोगे? 110 plus 25.
सर वो तो कैंसिल आउट होगा ना इंट्रा ग्रुप.
अरे पूरा रिसीवेबल कैंसिल आउट होगा क्या?
अच्छा 22,000 ही कैंसिल आउट.
So we'll do 110 plus 25 and from that we'll deduct 22. Okay, because pay attention, these receivables can be goods sold on credit to someone else than subsidiary also ना. Receiver means what? सारे कस्टमर हो गए तो उसमें का subsidiary कंपनी का कितना है? Only 22,000 is there for subsidiary. Okay, so receivables will be how much?
113.
हाँ, 110. So receivables will be 110 plus 25, correct, and minus 22 intra group. 22 intra group. And here also I'll write 4 is per. 4 is per. Okay, so कितना हो गया ये? 113 ना? Okay. Bank, there is no cash in transit, तो बैंक तो वैसे के वैसे लिखेंगे पूरा. Bank is 10 plus 5, that's it. So bank is 10 plus 5. Bank will be 50. Okay. ले लो टोटल फिर asset side. Just check if anything else is remaining asset. Okay, we have adjusted everything now. So asset side is done, 382. Okay, next. So now liability sides, non-current liability, equity. Equity now we'll take only holding ka equity 15. Okay, nothing of subsidiary was issued in shares. Okay, this was again only cash wala transaction. Okay, there was no new shares issued, so only 15,000. Equity will be only 15,000, no new equity shares. Okay, retained earnings, should I write retained earning?
Group reserve.
Correct. Instead of retained earning, I'll write group reserve. How much was our amount? 169, 1,69,800. So that will be 169.8.
Hmm.
This is in thousands, so that will be 169.8. Group reserve is done. Non-current liabilities, there is no adjustment. So directly as it is, non-current liability will be other non-current liability. Other non-current liability will be 120 plus 28. 120 plus 28. So that will be 148. And then current liability will be 15 plus 16 minus 22. Correct? So current liability में intra-group transaction करना पड़ेगा. So that will be 50 plus 16 minus 22 is your intra-group. Okay. So how much that comes to? 44. Correct, na? So that will give me my total liability.
सर एनसीआई रह गया.
अच्छा, NCI रहेगा.
NCI.
So here we'll put NCI. So insert enter row NCI. How much was the NCI? 5,200. So 5.2. NCI will be 5.2. 5.2. So total liabilities will be the sum of all of these. 382. Okay. Clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll do one more year-end adjustment sum, and then one question I'll give you for homework, which will be combination of your deferred wala sum and year-end wala sum. Okay, so वो combination तुम लोगों को homework को दूंगा, that we'll check tomorrow. So one more sum will solve.
So,
हाँ.
so why do you deduct 4,000 from the inventory?
Because perp is what? Unrealized on investment, sorry, on inventory ना यहाँ पे पढ़ लेते हैं, transaction पढ़ लेते हैं. Safety transferred goods to health at a transfer price of 18,000 at markup of 50%. 2/3 of these goods remained in the inventory at the year end. Okay, so inventory, the profit should have been, okay, the profit should have been the entire profit. Okay, 6,000 should have been my profit. Okay, but what has happened? Since the company has not sold it further, health company has not sold the goods further, we are not getting that profit. If we are not getting that profit, we should not record that in the inventory. Okay, so inventory was supposed to be 12,000 plus 6,000 profit equal to 18,000. करेक्ट ना? और उसमें का क्या हो गया? 2/3 सेल ही नहीं किया मैंने. अगर सेल ही नहीं किया है तो उसमें का प्रॉफिट भी हम लोग रिकॉर्ड नहीं करेंगे.
So, ये जो इन्वेंटरी बैलेंस शीट में है, that is the realized profit on the inventory.
That is after realizing the profit on entire inventory. So उन्होंने जो ये इन्वेंटरी बैलेंस शीट में जो इन्वेंटरी लिखा है, okay, how do we recognize in balance sheet? We will record the entire thing because we assumed that company will sell all the goods. We assume that company will sell all the goods, and that's why we recorded the entire amount in our inventory. Okay, but बाद में क्या समझ में आया हम लोगों को? We have understood that 2/3 were not sold only. 2/3 of the inventory was not sold at all. Okay, so उसका जो provision करने वाले हैं, that provision should not reflect in the inventory account. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's why we have to deduct from inventory. सी एनी काइंड ऑफ प्रोविजन ना, बैड डेट्स को भी वैसे ही करते हो ना. बैड डेट्स का अगर प्रोविजन रहेगा कैसे करोगे? डिडक्ट फ्रॉम पी एंड एल एंड पुट इट इन डेटर्स, डिडक्ट फ्रॉम डेटर्स.
Yeah.
करेक्ट. सो प्रॉफिट में से लेस किया, वही तो किया ना हम लोग ने यहाँ पे किसके प्रॉफिट में से लेस किया? सब्सिडरी के प्रॉफिट में से लेस किया. क्यों? बिकॉज इट वाज इनिशियल सेल वाज मेड बाय सब्सिडरी. सो सब्सिडरी का प्रॉफिट मतलब कौन सा? अपना नेट एसेट्स. करेक्ट. सो नेट एसेट में प्रॉफिट कितना था? 31,000 था, उसमें से 4,000 लेस किया. सो फर्स्ट इफेक्ट वेंट टू पी एंड एल जस्ट लाइक बैड डेट्स. ओके. एंड सेकंड इफेक्ट शुड बी लेस फ्रॉम डेटर्स. तो यहाँ पे लेस फ्रॉम डेटर्स की जगह क्या करेंगे? इट वाज रिलेटेड टू इन्वेंट्री, दैट्स व्हाई वी डिडक्टेड फ्रॉम इन्वेंट्री. Okay. So now we will do question 3 first and question 5 will be for homework. Question 3 में काफी adjustments हैं. So we'll do that first and then question 5 I'll give you guys for homework. Let us see. Everyone can see it on the screen. देखते हैं फिर. Statement of financial position of P and S at 30th June 2018 are below. Non-current asset, land, plant and equipment and investment. Current assets, inventory, receivable and bank. Ordinary share capital 50 cents. 50 cent का, एक शेयर 50 cent का है, मतलब नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स कितने हो गए?
डबल हो गया.
डबल हो गया, 10,000 and 2,000 हो गया. बराबर. Retained earnings is 8,300 and 3,150. Non-current liabilities में लिखा है 8% loan stock and current liabilities is given. Now let us read. थोड़ा सा अलग है प्रॉब्लम, थोड़ा सा अलग है. So pay attention. P acquired 75% of S on 1st July. डेट क्या दिया है? 2015. Correct. So acquisition was on 2015. And we are consolidated the balance sheet on 2018. Okay, so we are doing the balance sheet after 3 years of acquisition. We are doing the balance sheet after 3 years of acquisition. Okay, and 75% is holding, so by default 25% will become NCI. The balance of S company's retained earnings was 1150. P paid 3,500 for its investment in the share capital of S. ठीक है. सो 75% शेयर्स एक्वायर करने के लिए P हैज पेड 3,500 इन कैश. सो सिंपल कैश वाला क्वेश्चन है. देयर इज नो शेयर्स. करेक्ट. देयर इज नो डिफर्ड कंसिडरेशन. एट द सेम टाइम P इन्वेस्टेड इन 60% ऑफ S कंपनीज 8% लोन स्टॉक. नाउ पे अटेंशन. सो P ने क्या एक्वायर किया है? P has acquired 75% of equity shares, okay, for rupees, sorry, not for rupees, for dollars 3,500. But P has also invested in 60% of S company's 8% loan stock. क्या है ये?
Intragroup.
Perfect. अपना third type of intragroup. This is the third type of intragroup. P is investing in other securities. Sorry, P is investing in securities अदर देन इक्विटी शेयर्स. हम लोग उसको एक्विजिशन के पार्ट में नहीं लेंगे, सीधा उठा के डालेंगे इंट्रा ग्रुप ट्रांजैक्शन में. अंडरस्टूड
सर? मगर एक डाउट है.
हाँ.
इसका जो 8% का इंटरेस्ट है उसको भी हम इंट्रा ग्रुप की तरह ही ट्रीट करेंगे?
करेक्ट. इंटरेस्ट निकालना ही क्यों है ना? अगर तुम्हारा 8% लोन स्टॉक ही अपीयर नहीं होगा तो 8% लोन स्टॉक का इंटरेस्ट भी तो अपीयर नहीं होगा.
अच्छा, ओके.
Correct na? If there is no receivable, there is no bad debt. Similarly, if there is no loan stock, there is no interest on loan stock. Okay. Is it clear to everyone?
ठीक है.
Okay. So now see, किधर गया अपना? हाँ. So 8,000 में से, pay attention guys. 8,000 में से 3,500 was what? Out of the 8,000, 3,500 was your equity shares का balance. Okay. Out of the total investment is not 3,500. Total investment in total investment in the books of P company is not 3,500. Means what? This investment includes other investments.
Yes.
correct no? कौन है रे? Okay, I have muted that person. Okay, so now pay attention. Here what we are going to do, total investment of P, total investment of P में क्या क्या दिख रहा है? Okay, first we have, so total investment of P amounts to 8,000. Total investment of P amounts to 8,000. Okay, in that we have 75% shares in S amounting to how much? Amounting to 3,500. Okay, then we also have कितना है? P invested 60% of S company's 8% loan stock. So S company का 8% loan stock का अमाउंट दिया हुआ है, नॉन करंट लायबिलिटीज में 500. So 60% of S company's loan stock. So that will be 60% of 500 into 60%. 300, correct? Okay, so this will go in our what? This will go in our goodwill. This will go in our goodwill / capital reserve ka adjustment. Okay, and this 300 will be your intra-group transaction. Okay, now two effects. You guys tell me, what is the two effects?
Deduct from investments and deduct from liabilities.
Deduct from investment, and second effect will be deduct from loan stock.
Loan stock.
Correct. Second effect will be deduct from loan stock. Understood? So in short, pay attention. In short, investment appearing balance sheet कितना आएगा? Investment appearing in balance sheet, consolidated balance sheet कितना आएगा?
Investment 8,000 minus 300.
और ये 3,500 भी तो नहीं दिखाएंगे ना?
हाँ.
Sir, 4,200.
Correct. So that will be 8,000. उसमें से ये 3,500 भी तो नहीं दिखाएंगे because that goes in goodwill. And ये 300 भी नहीं दिखाएंगे because that goes in your intra-group. So investment that appears in the consolidated balance sheet. अभी हम लोग को आदत क्या है? इन्वेस्टमेंट दिखाने का ही नहीं, ऐसा आदत है हम लोगों को. But here that will not be the case, because here there are other investments also. So it is not just about 3,500. Okay, total investment was 8,000. Out of that, 3,500 is going to goodwill or capital reserve, so that will not show. And this 300 is an intra-group transaction, that also will not show. So investment appear in the balance sheet will be 4,200. Okay, everyone, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So this is working note 1. अभी वर्किंग नोट 2 क्या है अपना? ग्रुप रिजर्व कर लेते हैं. ग्रुप स्ट्रक्चर is what? 75% are held, so that will become holding company.
सर हमको ऐसे दिखाना पड़ेगा क्या लिख के, फर्स्ट इफेक्ट सेकंड इफेक्ट?
नहीं, that is for your understanding. Okay, because you guys will open the books after directly before the exam na, that time you will not understand why you have done first effect and second effect. या तुम लोग रिवाइज करते हो बीच में?
करते हैं सर.
Okay, ठीक है. Next, let us read the next one then. So first paragraph is done entirely, and that retained earning we'll do it at the time of net asset of subsidiary company. Okay, next, second point, at reporting date, P's payables include an amount due to S of $400. This did not agree to the corresponding amount in S company's financial statement of 500. The difference is explained as cash in transit.
Okay.
हाँ, so क्या करना है अभी?
Less cash add bank.
Less in cash, add back in bank. कितना amount?
100.
Correct.
100.
And what about the other 400?
तो वो तो ऑलरेडी रिकॉर्ड हो ही चुका होगा ना?
नहीं, क्योंकि वो भी क्या है? That is also between P and S ना?
वो इंट्रा ग्रुप है.
P's payable included an amount due to S. Correct. So that is also intra-group. So all three types of intra-group have been seen in this problem. Okay, I'll explain it again, guys. I'll explain this again. Okay. what they are saying in P company, what we are doing, payable, P company is payable is how much? $400. So obviously what happens? S company's receivable will be $400. Correct? But this is not 400. Why? Because they had said this is amounting to 500 and the difference is explained as cash in transit. So that 100 will show separately. P company, okay, cash in transit 100, and S company cash in transit 100. Correct? So both will become intra-group. So deduct from payable and deduct from receivable. And here also deduct from cash, and here it will be add in bank, क्योंकि nullify करना है, we want to nullify it. So deduct from cash and add in bank. See if it is clear.
सर हमने जो BRS अमाउंट है सर उसको कैश बैंक लिया और बाकी
हाँ.
को रिसीवेबल पे करंट अकाउंट में क्यों डाला, वो चीज क्लियर नहीं हुई मेरे को.
अरे क्योंकि दिया है ना, what they have given at the reporting date, P is payable included an amount due to S of 400. So P is payable to S. Means what? S is receivable from P, means S is receivable from P. Correct, na? So if
समझा,
P is payable to S and S is receivable from P, it becomes an intragroup transaction. And what is the amount of this transaction? This amount is 400. So we have written 400. Correct? But in the books of accounts, S company is showing 500 and the difference is explained as cash in transit. Okay, so S company के books में भी ये 400 दिखना चाहिए था, but this is appearing as 500. Means what? That 100 is not shown somewhere, so that 100 becomes what? Cash in transit. So I'll split that receivable from P, that 500 I'll split into two parts, 400 as receivable and 100 as cash in transit. Okay, so cash in transit is also intragroup transaction. So again, two effect, deduct from cash and add in the bank. Okay, समझाया क्या सबको?
Sir, this adjustment wala, like the working, we'll have to show in the exam kya?
Obviously, because working note will form part of your answer. Huh?
So
Working
this
note,
part exactly how will we show? Because you told कि आप थोड़ा मतलब explain करे हो ज़्यादा क्योंकि we'll be able to understand. So what, in the exam, what exactly should we write in the working note when we are
so
doing
you
this?
can write in the हाँ okay चलो working note का हम लोग directly ऐसा लिख सकते हैं that there is intra-group your receivables and payables. Sorry, intergroup कितना है? Payable ना? Intergroup payable of $400. Okay, and $400 in books of P. So receivables should also be $400 in books of S. Correct? However, the receivables appear to be $500. Okay, so difference of $100 is due to cash in transit जो दिया हुआ है problem में. Otherwise you would not have known why the difference is coming. Correct? So difference of $100 is due to cash in transit. Okay, so we show receivable differently and cash in transit differently. So company shows two intragroup transactions as follows. Okay, number one, first intragroup is receivable and payable, and second intragroup is your cash in transit and deduct from cash and add in bank. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Acha, now one thing. Now tell me guys one thing. Let us say they had said at reporting date P's payable is 400 and S company's receivable is 500, and they had not given this line. Difference is explained as cash in transit. They had not given they had not given this line. Then what should we do?
क्या assume करेंगे ना?
नहीं assume नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि difference can be due to anything ना. Difference can be due to any adjustment. So we don't know. So what should we do then?
Only 400 will be intra-group and the remaining 100 will be treated normally.
No. If anything is not given, just take the higher amount and show it as intra-group transaction. So directly we should have shown 500.
ऐसा क्यों?
क्योंकि हम लोगों को पता नहीं है ना बाकी बचा हुआ 100 किसकी वजह से है. So always when you account for any losses, okay, when you account for any elimination from your profits, okay, losses को हम लोग lower estimate का लेते हैं या higher estimate का लेते हैं?
Higher
What does our
estimate.
realization concept say? That we'll always have a higher estimate. Okay, but तुम लोग टेंशन मत लो, तुम लोग के इसमें FR के इसमें तुम लोगों को देंगे वो डिफरेंस किसकी वजह से है. Okay, so that will be given in your FR calculation that it is due to cash in transit. Okay, but just from your real life point of view, you should always follow realization concept. Okay, when there are two amounts for intra group, always take the higher amount. Okay, because we are eliminating intra-group transaction, we are not showing them from our profits. Okay, if we are not showing from our receivables and payables, we will always eliminate the higher amount. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. And accountant क्या करेगा रियल लाइफ में? Accountant रिसीवेबल में से 400 निकालेगा और पेएबल में से 500 निकालेगा और $100 सस्पेंस अकाउंट में डालेगा. As an auditor, you will be wondering ये $100 सस्पेंस अकाउंट में से कहां से आया. Okay, so ऐसा भी प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है. So there can be a suspense account in the balance sheet also, $100 का suspense account. Then same logic ना, you will do the same logic. Suspense account में से 100 निकाल दो, ठीक है. Suspense account जहां पे भी अपेयर हो रहा है वो साइड को 400 का इफेक्ट दो, दूसरे साइड को 500 का इफेक्ट दो. Okay, but this level of adjustment will not be there in your FRA, but still you should know. That's why I am explaining. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, chalo, next. So now there are three intragroup. There are three intragroup transactions. One is between investment and liability, investment and your loan stock. Second is between receivable and payable, and third is between cash and bank. All three we have to give while preparing the balance sheet. Okay, all three we have to give while preparing the balance sheet. Now let us come to our main part. Main part क्या है? Net assets. Net assets of subsidiary company. अच्छा, उसके पहले पर्प है क्या वो भी देख लेते हैं. Let us read the next one. At date of acquisition, it was determined that S company's land carried at a cost of 2,500 had a fair value of 3,750. Now, what is this concept?
Fair value adjustment, sir.
Perfect. This is a fair value adjustment because it is difference between cost and fair value. Means is it a revaluation? Is it a addition or subtraction for the revaluation? Addition. Apna land will be revalued with a difference of 1,250 with an addition of 1,250. Correct. Similarly, S company's plant was determined to have a fair value of 500 in excess of its carrying amount. So they have directly given fair value adjustment ka amount hi 500. So land mein, in case of the asset of land, we will have to calculate what is the fair value adjustment. That will be difference between fair value and cost. Okay, so difference is how much? 1,250.
Yes.
Correct. On which date should we write?
Acquisition date.
Acquisition date. Okay, so acquisition date पे लिखा तो by default reporting date पे भी वही लिखना पड़ेगा. Correct. Now, similarly, S company's plant was determined to have a fair value of $500 in excess of carrying amount. So directly they have given fair value adjustment amount is 500. That they have directly given to us. Okay, next. And the plant had remaining life of 5 years at this time. क्या करेंगे इसका?
Post
Depreciation.
acquisition depreciation.
Depreciation, correct. Depreciation will be in reporting date how much? Should we take on land and plant both or only on plant?
Sir, only on plant.
Only on
Only on
Correct.
plant, क्योंकि
Only on
land
plant.
appreciate हो रही है ना.
बराबर. Okay. And anyways land पे तो वैसे भी depreciation होता नहीं है. Land पे तो वैसे भी depreciation होता नहीं है ना. So only on plant will take. Now how much will be the depreciation amount on plant? Amount कितना होगा?
2400 divided by 5.
2400. नहीं, no. Yes, anyone else? How much
So
should
यहाँ
be the
पे
depreciation of
100.
plant? हाँ,
Sir,
100.
2,900 divided by 5.
no.
So just $100.
500 को हम depreciate करेंगे.
करेक्ट 500 को डेप्रिशिएट करेंगे क्योंकि बैलेंस शीट में जो वैल्यू आएगा दैट इज ऑलवेज आफ्टर डेप्रिसिएशन ना. बैलेंस शीट में हम लोग वैल्यू आफ्टर डेप्रिसिएशन ही दिखाते हैं. तो ये पूरा 2400 को 1750 को डेप्रिशिएट करना ही नहीं है, हमको सिर्फ एडिशनल वैल्यू को डेप्रिशिएट करना है. यस और नो? ओके. नाउ 500 को डेप्रिसिएशन लगेगा, बट टेल मी द डेप्रिसिएशन अमाउंट. 500 को
100.
डेप्रिसिएशन आएगा, टेल मी द डेप्रिसिएशन अमाउंट. 300. करेक्ट. व्हाई 300?
3 साल बाद बना रहे हैं.
Correct, because we are preparing the balance sheet after 3 years after acquisition. So 500 into 3 by 5. Understood everyone? Okay. And this will be in company S company. Yeah? This is not in P companies. This will all be in S company. So ये आएगा net asset of subsidiary के calculation में आएगा. This will all be under S company because they have clearly said S company's land, S company's plant. Okay. So this will be recorded in the profits of S company. So that will be in the second working note. That is your net assets of subsidiary company. In that we will have to write all of this.
Sir, the 1750 given in the question, that is after the depreciation, no?
Correct. That is after depreciation. क्योंकि balance sheet का amount हमेशा depreciation के बाद ही आता है ना.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next. Now, so let us read the fourth adjustment first. P group uses fair value method to value the non-controlling interest. For this purpose, subsidiary share price at the date of acquisition should be used, and subsidiary share price at acquisition was $2.2 per share. तो ये वाला एडजस्टमेंट किसके लिए दिया है?
शेयर कैपिटल.
फेयर वैल्यू ऑफ एनसीआई. फेयर वैल्यू ऑफ एनसीआई निकालना है हम लोगों को. सो एनसीआई के जितने भी शेयर्स होंगे इनटू $2.2 पर शेयर, दैट विल गिव मी फेयर वैल्यू ऑफ एनसीआई. क्योंकि फेयर वैल्यू ऑफ एनसीआई टोटल अमाउंट में नहीं दिया है, पर शेयर अमाउंट में दिया है. यस और नो?
यस सर.
ओके. सो शेयर्स की बात करेंगे हम लोग. टोटल शेयर्स ऑफ एस कंपनी कितना है? 2000 शेयर्स है.
Yes, sir.
Because 1000 is the capital and each share of 50 cents. Okay. So अभी हम लोग ग्रुप स्ट्रक्चर 1 में जब बनाएंगे, ओके, वर्किंग नोट किधर गया अपना ग्रुप स्ट्रक्चर. ओके. टोटल शेयर्स ऑफ एस कंपनी, टोटल शेयर्स ऑफ एस कंपनी इज हाउ मच? इज 1000 divided by 50 cents. Okay. So that is $2,000. 2,000 shares. Okay. So NCI कितना होल्ड कर रहा है? NCI is holding
25%.
हाँ, NCI is holding 25% and your holding company is holding 75% into 25%. So NCI के 500 shares हो गए. Okay. इनके 1500 shares हो गए. NCI के 500 shares हो गए. And what they have given? NCI will be valued at what? $2.2 per share. So NCI का fair value will be what? 500 shares into $2.2. खत्म. That will be the fair value of NCI. Okay. So we can write over here at $2.2 per share per that has been given in the problem. Let us start then. सारे एडजस्टमेंट समझ में आए सब लोगों को? And goodwill has become impaired by $100. Goodwill impairment तो पता है तुम लोगों को कैसा करना है. समझा क्या रे सब लोगों को?
Yes, sir.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
Okay.
Yes,
So let us start.
yes, sir.
Net assets of subsidiary company हम लोग को चाहिए on acquisition date and दूसरा हम लोग को चाहिए on reporting date. Correct. Now net asset is what? Equity plus reserves plus adjustments, right? So इस problem में देखो हाँ क्या क्या आएगा. So let us go back to question. Equity में क्या क्या है? Equity and retained earnings है. So we'll have equity. Here we'll have equity. Then we have retained earnings. Okay. Now pay attention ना adjustments में क्या क्या है? पहला adjustment है अपना fair value adjustment for plant, right? Sorry, for land है ना पहला. Fair value adjustment for land. Okay. That is on which date? That is on acquisition date because they have given at the date of acquisition. So on acquisition date. So we'll just write fair value of land. Okay. Then we have fair value adjustment for plant also. And then we also have depreciation on fair value of plant. So three adjustments in this problem. Huh? Perp है ही नहीं. Perp तो है ही नहीं problem में. There is no perp. See if this is clear. Net asset में क्या क्या आएगा?
सर एक डाउट है,
हाँ पूछ लो.
अगर जो हमारे पास बैलेंस शीट दी हुई है जिसमें 1750 ऑलरेडी है, तो सर उन्होंने वो 300 ऑलरेडी कर लिया होगा ना?
कौन सा? अरे पर हम लोग कंसोलिडेशन करेंगे तो पी कंपनी को चार्ज करेंगे ना डेप्रिसिएशन. कंसोलिडेटेड बैलेंस शीट में हुआ है क्या 3 साल का?
अच्छा एंड में, हाँ समझ गया.
करेक्ट. सो एस कंपनी के बैलेंस शीट में रिफ्लेक्ट होगा. करेक्ट. बट एस कंपनी का खुद का नहीं लेंगे. एस कंपनी, व्हाट विल एस कंपनी विल से? इफ यू आर शेयरिंग प्रॉफिट्स यू विल शेयर लॉस आल्सो. डेप्रिसिएशन इज वन काइंड ऑफ अ लॉस. So you have to share that depreciation loss also in the ratio of 75:25. Correct, na? Okay. So that's why we'll only adjust on fair value. We'll only adjust on fair value of plant, not on the entire plant. Okay. चलो देखते फिर इक्विटी का और सबका देखते फिर. रिपोर्टिंग डेट का दिया हुआ है. इक्विटी कितना है एस कंपनी का? दिस इज ओनली फॉर सब्सिडियरी कंपनी. सो एस कंपनी का इक्विटी इज 1000. रिटेन अर्निंग्स इज 3150. सो 1000 3150. ओके. देन ऑन एक्विजिशन डेट कितना बोला है? एडजस्टमेंट नंबर 1. रिटेन अर्निंग्स इज 1150. रिटेन अर्निंग्स इज 1150 एंड इक्विटी के बारे में कुछ बोला नहीं. सो इट विल रिमेन 1000. It will remain 1000. Okay. Now coming back to that adjustment number 3. At date of acquisition fair value adjustment कितना है? Difference. So that will be 3750 minus कितना था रे? 2500 ना? 1250. एंड एक्विजिशन डेट पे अपीयर हो रहा है तो ऑब्वियसली रिपोर्टिंग डेट पे भी अपीयर होगा. सो सेम यहां पर भी लेंगे. whatever appears in acquisition date has to appear on reporting date. Whatever appears in acquisition date has to appear on reporting date. प्लांट का भी सेम. प्लांट का भी कितना है? Plant was determined at 500 in excess, so they have already given 500 is given. We don't need to calculate 500. We don't need to calculate, so this will remain 500. Okay. And depreciation is never on acquisition date. Depreciation is always on reporting date. Okay. So depreciation will be 3 years out of 5 years. Out of 5 years, because we had acquired 3 years ago. So subsidiary company will say you need to account for 3 years of depreciation out of the total life of 5 years. So it will be 500 into 3/5. And depreciation हम लोगों को less करना है, so that will be negative. See if it is clear to everyone. एक बार पढ़ लो, एडजस्टमेंट्स पढ़ लो एक बार और देख लो समझ में आया क्या. If any doubt is there, I can explain it once again. Okay, बढ़ते आगे.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we have finally got our net assets. So lot of adjustment in this net assets. Huh? So net assets will be total of all of these. Okay. So difference between the two net assets will be your post acquisition profit or loss. Post acquisition.
सर डेप्रिसिएशन लेस करना है
तो किया ना लेस.
या तो सही.
निगेटिव में
अच्छा,
लिख
हाँ,
के
किया.
सम लिया ना, निगेटिव में लिख के सम ले लो तो भी लेस ही होगा.
हाँ सर.
ओके ओके. सो नेट असेट्स, सॉरी नेट असेट्स नहीं, अपना क्या आएगा, पोस्ट एक्विजिशन प्रॉफिट.
अच्छा सॉरी.
पोस्ट एक्विजिशन प्रॉफिट विल बी 5600 minus 3900.
1700.
ओके, ये पोस्ट एक्विजिशन है तो इट विल बी स्प्लिट इन रेशियो ऑफ स्प्लिट बिटवीन 75% जाएगा ग्रुप रिजर्व्स and 25% will go to NCI. So 1700 into 75% and 1700 into 25%. Okay, so अभी ध्यान दो, मतलब यहाँ पे see what has happened. Okay, there is a doubt. Can you once again explain the reason why fair value adjustment at DOA and DOR of NCA is same? Okay, okay. See, fair value adjustment has happened on acquisition date. Okay, see, fair value can happen either on acquisition date or on reporting date. Okay, fair value can be anytime. Depreciation, perp, okay, all those adjustments only happen on reporting date, but fair value, the revaluation of assets, can happen at any date. Okay, so it has happened on acquisition date. It has happened 3 years before. So obviously it should appear in the balance sheet. Okay, if it is going to appear in the balance sheet, okay, it will be same on reporting date. On acquisition date and on reporting date, it should be same. Okay, so if there is no change in between, there is no change in between fair value adjustment after acquisition date, it will remain the same. Okay, is this first doubt clear? Then I'll go on to solve the next doubt.
Clear.
Okay, next doubt is, will there always be post acquisition profit? Not necessary. There can also be post acquisition loss. And if there is a post acquisition loss, again loss will be split between the ratio of 75:25. Okay, sometimes there can be post acquisition loss. If I am acquiring a loss making company, there will be loss. Okay, so everyone understood now why the this thing fair value adjustment, same figures appear over here. Okay, because if it is appearing on acquisition date, we have to record in the balance sheet. So on reporting date also, we'll record in the balance sheet on the same amount. Okay, next. So now once we have the net assets, now we can go to calculate our main thing. Main thing is your gain or loss on acquisition. Gain or loss on acquisition. So that is your working note. जो भी वर्किंग नोट है अभी. So goodwill or capital reserve. Goodwill or capital reserve. Acha, tell me one thing, guys. Tell me one thing. What if I had said this entire paragraph, the entire number 3 paragraph was for P company. Entire number 3 paragraph was not for S company's land, S company's plant. It was for P company's land and P company's plant. What would
वर्किंग नोट
happen?
2 में नहीं आता.
हाँ, तो ये पूरा this entire thing would not have come in working note 2. Then it would have gone where?
Group reserve.
Group reserve में क्या रहता है? Correct. It would have gone in group reserve. So you have to be very careful, whether it is this thing fair value adjustment of your parent company or of your subsidiary company. If it is for subsidiary company, then only it will come under net assets of subsidiary company. So ACCA can on purpose do this. They can on purpose give you of parent company just to confuse you guys. So it will not appear over here. It will appear directly in group reserves. Okay. So now, so in goodwill or capital reserve, first we take fair value of purchase consideration. That is the amount we are actually paying, actually paid amount. So for 75%, how much are we actually paying? बताओ मेरे को.
वापस पूछने पर आवाज
For
कटा.
75%,
3,500.
हाँ, for 75% acquisition, we are not paying 8,000 ना. यहाँ का 8,000 मत उठा के लिखो. Okay, we are only paying 3,500. It is specifically given. P has paid 3,500 for its investment in share capital of S. Okay. अगर ये नहीं दिया रहता, ये 3,500 नहीं दिया रहता, तो हम लोग ने 8,000 लिया रहता. Correct. But now they have clearly mentioned 3,500. Means this 8,000 includes investment of 3,500 plus other investments also, जो हम लोग ने पहले वर्किंग नोट में क्लियर किया था. करेक्ट. अपना टोटल इन्वेस्टमेंट इज 8,000. आउट ऑफ दैट fair value of purchase consideration is 3,500 and 300 is your intra-group transaction. Is it clear to everyone why it is not 8,000?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, fair value of NCI, वो तो निकाला अपन ने. Number of shares into 2.2. कितना था number of shares? NCI का shares.
एनसीए का 500.
500 shares into 2.2. Correct. 500 shares is NCI share into 2.2. Generally NCI का value दिया रहता है, but in this problem they have not given the value. So if they have not given the value, we will do shares into fair value. So that is 500 into 2.2.
1100.
Okay. For your understanding, I will write 500 into 2.2. Okay. So total payable, total amount in P company will be 3,500 plus 1,100. 4,600 is the total amount. Okay. But for that, net assets of subsidiary company on acquisition, कंपनी का अमाउंट ऑन एक्विजिशन कितना था वो भी निकाला हम लोग ने फ्रॉम वर्किंग नोट, प्रीवियस वर्किंग नोट 3,900. एक्विजिशन डेट के कॉलम का लेना है. You are taking from acquisition date column, 3,900. Okay. So value of company on acquisition was 3,900 and we are paying 4,600. तो हम लोग ज्यादा पे कर रहे हैं. ज्यादा क्यों पे कर रहे हैं? गुडविल के लिए. $4,600 minus 3,900. 700 is the goodwill. Impairment है क्या देख लो क्वेश्चन में.
है सर 100 का.
Last adjustment, goodwill has become impaired by $100. So less loss due to impairment. Less loss due to impairment. $100. But this loss is after acquisition, तो split होगा. Split between 75 and 25. Split between holding company सो रेशियो पता है हम लोगों को 75 75% है ना 75% and 25%. So 75 25. And therefore goodwill carried to balance sheet. Goodwill carried to balance sheet will be 600. See if this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this problem has enough adjustments. Huh? This 3500 वाला एडजस्टमेंट भी इंपॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज हम लोग को क्या आदत है अगर यहाँ पे अमाउंट नहीं दिया है वी डायरेक्टली सी इन इन्वेस्टमेंट्स करेक्ट वी वुड हैव टेकन 8000 बट इन दिस प्रॉब्लम दे आर स्पेसिफिकली गिवन दैट ओनली 3500 इज पेड फॉर एक्वायरिंग कैपिटल ऑफ एस मतलब ये बाकी 8000 में से बाकी का अमाउंट विल बी फॉर अदर इन्वेस्टमेंट्स करेक्ट पेरेंट कंपनी कैन हैव इन्वेस्टमेंट्स इन अदर कंपनी आल्सो ना तो वो बाकी इन्वेस्टमेंट हो गया नाउ नेक्स्ट सो 2 मेन वर्किंग नोट्स आर डन सो बचा क्या सिर्फ एनसीआई का अमाउंट एंड ग्रुप रिजर्व्स का अमाउंट ओके सो एनसीआई विल स्टार्ट विथ पेएबल टू एनसीआई तो हम लोग ने ऑलरेडी निकाला हुआ है पेएबल टू एनसीआई हाउ मच वाज पेएबल टू एनसीआई ये 1100 is payable to NCI correct add profit share of NCI and less share of loss of NCI so profit share में तो post acquisition profit था उसमें का 25% so 425 and loss में goodwill का loss का share था 25 so NCI in the balance sheet will be 1500 okay and group reserves तो पता है तुम लोगों को we start with what retained earnings of P earnings of the parent that will be there in the balance sheet retained earnings is 8300 given in the balance sheet add profit share and less share of loss so profit share में post acquisition profit है 1275 and loss में अपना goodwill impairment का 75 so group reserve carried to balance sheet $9,500 okay everyone got this so now we are done with all of these so we'll prepare consolidated statement of financial position okay so non-current assets क्या क्या आएगा देखते हैं ना अभी नॉन करंट एसेट में लैंड का अमाउंट बताओ मेरे को कितना आएगा
सेम रहना चाहिए ना
1250
लैंड में देखते हैं अपन क्या क्या आएगा एडजस्टमेंट है ना लैंड में एक
हाँ है
हाँ सर
4500 plus 2500 and there is also revaluation
Plus
of
one.
land fair value adjustment कितना था
12,500
so वो revaluation they have not given anything in the balance in the working notes they have not given anything so balance sheet हम लोग assume करेंगे balance sheet will always be without revaluation okay so we have to record that so that will be 4500 plus 2500 plus 1250 so land will be at 8250 now plant you guys tell me again how much will be for plant
2400 plus 1750 plus 500
और depreciation
minus 300.
हाँ correct. So it will be your 2400 parent company का, 1750 subsidiary company का, plus fair value adjustment of 500 excess है, and minus depreciation of 300. Okay. Clear to everyone? नेक्स्ट नॉन करंट एसेट में इन्वेस्टमेंट्स भी है, तो इन्वेस्टमेंट्स कैसे दिखाएंगे?
सर एक डाउट,
हाँ
सर डेप्रिसिएशन को ग्रुप रिजर्व से क्यों नहीं निकाल दिया?
कौन सा? अरे
300.
क्योंकि डेप्रिसिएशन जो है वो कौन से कंपनी का डेप्रिसिएशन है? डेप्रिसिएशन ऑफ प्लांट ऑफ विच कंपनी?
अच्छा ओके अंडरस्टूड. एस
कंपनी है ना, तो एस कंपनी का हम लोग ने कहाँ पे डाल दिया? नेट एसेट में डाल दिया ना हम लोग ने.
नेट एसेट्स में ऑलरेडी डाल चुके हैं हम लोग.
करेक्ट. एंड सेकंड इफेक्ट 300 का सेकंड इफेक्ट विल कम ओवर हियर.
हाँ वही है.
एडजस्टमेंट्स के हमेशा सेकंड इफेक्ट आएंगे.
हम्म.
ओके सो नाउ इन्वेस्टमेंट देखो हाँ कैसे आएगा. इन्वेस्टमेंट
4200.
अच्छा बराबर, क्योंकि हम लोग ने स्टार्टिंग में लिखा था. फिर वी विल टेल वंस अगेन 8000 पूरा नहीं आना चाहिए था, बट आउट ऑफ दैट ओनली 3500 इज फॉर आवर एक्चुअल इन्वेस्टमेंट. सो बाकी बचा मेरा अदर इन्वेस्टमेंट्स हो गया ना. ओके तो दैट विल बी 8500 माइनस इन्वेस्टमेंट इन कंपनी, इन्वेस्टमेंट इन एस कंपनी 3500 जो नहीं दिखना चाहिए था, एंड माइनस इंट्रा ग्रुप होगा 60% ऑफ एस कंपनीज लोन स्टॉक, सो माइनस 500 into 60% will be your intra-group adjustment. Will be your intra-group adjustment. See if this is clear. स्टार्टिंग में भी हम लोग ने वर्किंग नोट में लिखा है, बट स्टिल आई विल राइट इट ओवर हियर. सो अच्छा वो 8000 है ना, नॉट 8500. So 8000 minus 3500 and minus कितना आएगा? 300 ना. Or I can also write working note 1. Okay. जस्ट एक बार वर्किंग नोट 1 में चेक करते हैं. हम लोग ने वही लिखा है. टोटल इन्वेस्टमेंट था 8000, उसमें क्या 3500 तो अपन ने गुडविल कैपिटल रिजर्व के एडजस्टमेंट में लिखा है. 300 इज इंट्रा ग्रुप, तो उसके दो इफेक्ट आएंगे. डिडक्ट फ्रॉम इन्वेस्टमेंट में तो किया हम लोग ने, एंड सेकंड विल बी डिडक्ट फ्रॉम लोन स्टॉक. ओके नेक्स्ट नॉन करंट में और कुछ बचा क्या?
सर गुडविल.
गुडविल. ओके हाउ मच वाज आवर गुडविल?
600.
आफ्टर इम्पेयरमेंट लिखेंगे. विल राइट आफ्टर इम्पेयरमेंट. सो नाउ करंट एसेट्स. करंट में इन्वेंट्री. इन्वेंट्री में पर्प तो है ही नहीं, पर्प नहीं है तो एडजस्ट करने का नीड नहीं है. सो इन्वेंट्री डायरेक्ट टोटल 3200 प्लस 900. 3200 plus 900. So inventory will be 4100. Next, receivable में एडजस्टमेंट है क्या?
यस सर.
है सर. रिसीवेबल पेबल्स का एडजस्टमेंट है.
करेक्ट. सो रिसीवेबल का एडजस्टमेंट क्या क्या आएगा? इट विल बी टोटल, पहले तो इन दोनों का टोटल लेते हैं 1400 plus 650. 1400 plus 650. करेक्ट. माइनस 400 इज इंट्रा ग्रुप. 400 इज इंट्रा ग्रुप. एंड यहाँ पे कैश अलग से नहीं दिया है, तो वो 100 कैश इन ट्रांजिट भी इसी में से लेस कर दो. 100 कैश इन ट्रांजिट will also be have to be deducted from this only. मतलब in short total 500 less हो गया ना. As I said, always डिडक्ट द हायर अमाउंट, सो टोटल 500 यहाँ पे लेस हो गया. Okay, cash was not given. In the problem, cash was not given. So if cash is not given, you have to deduct from receivables. Okay.
1550.
1550.
सर 1650 होगा.
1400 plus 650
minus 500.
minus 500 कर minus 500 1550 हो जाएगा ना.
सही है.
ओके. नाउ बैंक का भी कर लेते हैं. So bank will be 600 600 plus 150 and minus,
plus
sorry, not minus, plus
100.
Plus cash in transit 100. Cash in transit 100. See if you understood receivable and bank. ऐसा क्यों किया हम लोग ने? Any doubt till here? I think there is a doubt. Let me read on the. What about adjustment of interest on loan stock? Okay. So loan stock will go in liabilities. It will go in liabilities because it is nullified due to intragroup transaction. Okay. So if you are eliminating loan stock in intragroup transaction, interest on loan stock will also be eliminated in intragroup transaction. Okay. If there is no debtors, there is no bad debt. Similarly, if there is no loan stock in the consolidated balance sheet, there will be no interest on loan stock.
Sir, why are we exactly doing वो cash in transit का minus व plus? क्योंकि at the end of the day वो effect तो nullify हो रहा है ना?
Nullify कब हुआ रहेगा? यहाँ से भी 500 निकाला and payable से भी directly 500 निकाला तो nullify होगा ना?
Oh, okay, got it.
Correct, because what they have said that total should be deducted. Total deducted should be 500. Total deducted should be 500. Receivables में is only appearing at 400. Okay.
Oh, okay.
What should we have done? Receivable 400, cash in transit 100. That should be our total deduction. So that it should have matched with our S company ka 500. Okay. But since we have no cash, what we are doing? Here also 500 we need to deduct, and from P company also 500 we need to deduct. So we have done 400 intragroup transaction and 100 cash in transit.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Understood the doubt on interest on loan stock?
Yes.
Okay, because if loan stock does not appear, we will not account for interest on loan stock also. Okay, next. So everything under this thing is done. Asset, ले लो total asset. $23,900. Okay. Then liabilities, share capital. So non-current liabilities. Under that share capital, there is no new issue, so we'll take only 5,000. No new issue, so this will be only 5,000. Share capital. Next, retained earnings. Instead of retained earnings, we'll write group reserve. Group reserve. We have calculated that. What's the amount? 9,500 is the group reserve. Okay. Okay, so there is one more doubt. Let me check. Interest on loan stock was debited to individual SOPL of S. So we must reverse it in consolidated SOPL by adding it back. See, if you do it, then you will have to give two effects. Okay, then you will have to give two effects. First effect will be in net assets of subsidiary, and then second effect will be in directly your consolidated balance sheet. Okay, But since it is interest of S, okay, if we don't show it, that is also okay, because interest is the outside liability of S. Okay, outside liability of S will appear in SOPL of S, and therefore it will also reflect in retained earnings of S. Okay? I can't hear you properly. अरे सुनाई दे रहा है क्या किसी और को? Then you can tell his doubt. Can you be louder a little bit? I'll just explain it again. Why I'm not considering interest on loan stock. Okay. So interest on loan stock is a outside liability payment of S company. Okay. So it is going to appear in the SOPL of S company. When it appears in SOPL of S company, it appears in retained earnings in the balance sheet. Okay. And that we have already accounted, that retained earnings adjustment, we have already accounted when we have done this. Retained earnings of S on acquisition date is 1150 and on reporting date is 3150. So this 2000 has already accounted for that interest. Okay. So that will not record again. Shine, is this clear? Okay. Yeah. But pay attention now. If we want to prepare consolidated SOPL, if the question says also prepare consolidated SOPL, then that time we'll have to show it. Okay, in consolidated SOPL we need to show these adjustments. Okay, consolidated SOPL is also there for FR. Okay, consolidated SOPL is also there for FR. That time I will get into details of this interest on loan stock. Okay, now so group reserve is done. What is the next thing we want? NCI's other non-current liability. So what is our NCI? $1,500 is the NCI. Okay. And other non-current liabilities. Other non-current liability will be 4,000 plus 500. And one more thing we'll need to adjust. What is that? Minus intra-group transaction of 60% of 500. The first adjustment. First working note. Correct, no? Because intra-group was between investment and your loan stock. Investment was in loan stock. So first effect of 300 I have given in investment. Second effect of 300 I have given in other non-current liabilities. Okay, so that will be 4,200. And then current liability. Current liabilities will be 2,800 plus 1,300. 2,800 plus 1,300. And how much of intra-group now? 400 or 500? Which one will affect?
500.
500 क्यों effect करेंगे? Pay attention now. This 100 cash in transit. This 100 cash in transit had been affected with what? This 100 of CIT? Nullify हो गया ना? 100 और 100 nullify हो गया क्या? हो गया ना? 100 in cash in transit and 100 in CIT. That has been nullified. So यहाँ पे कितना करेंगे? यहाँ पे we will only do the remaining 400. So intragroup will be 400. Out of the 500, 100 has already been nullified between receivable and bank. So we'll only give the remaining effect of 400. Okay. So that will be 3,700. Okay. Take the total of liabilities then. $23,900. Done. If they had not mentioned about cash in transit, if they had not mentioned anything about cash in transit, हम लोग ने यहाँ पे भी नहीं दिखा रहता, यहाँ पे भी नहीं दिखा रहता, and we would have taken this directly as 500 and this also directly as 500, higher amount, correct? But since they have told us that what is the nature of that remaining 100, so that's why we have shown it under cash in transit. Okay, is this clear to everyone now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll save this and upload on the Google Drive. Okay, now the last question number 5, you guys will solve it, huh? Okay, you guys will try solving this question number 5, पेपरमेंट एंड स्पीयरमेंट वाला क्वेश्चन जो है. ओके, स्टडी टेक्स्ट में दिया हुआ है सॉल्यूशन, बट डोंट लुक एट द सॉल्यूशन, ट्राई सॉल्विंग इट ऑन योर ओन. ओके, क्योंकि एक एडजस्टमेंट है जो थोड़ा सा अलग है, बाकी एवरीथिंग वी हैव सीन. ओके, आई जस्ट रीड द एडजस्टमेंट वाला पार्ट. Peppermint acquired 80% of share capital 2 years ago when reserves were so and so. Peppermint paid initial cash consideration of 1 million. Additionally, Peppermint issued 2 lakh shares with a nominal value of 100 and a market value of acquisition rate of 1.8. And it was also agreed that Peppermint would pay a further 500,000 in 3 years' time. Have you done this before? Have we done this before?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Deferred.
Correct. So cash plus share plus deferred payment and current interest rate दिया है 10% per annum. Okay. And next, for further information, at acquisition fair value exceeded book value, तो वो तो fair value adjustment आएगा. That also we have done today. For many years, Spearmint has been selling some of its product under the brand name of Mint Fresh. At date of acquisition, the directors of Peppermint valued this brand at 250,000 with a remaining life of 10 years. The brand is not included in Spearmint's statement of financial position. तो ये भी क्या होगा, ये भी तुम्हारा fair value adjustment में आएगा. Correct. This will also be under the fair value adjustment. Okay. And फिर वो 10 years का ब्रांड का डेप्रिसिएशन निकालोगे क्या या नहीं?
अमोर्टाइजेशन निकलेगा ना.
हाँ, it will not be depreciation because intangible asset का depreciation नहीं निकलेगा. There will be amortization. Amortization for how many years?
एक मिनट. So
2 years.
just
2 years out of 10 years. It will be 2 years out of 10 years. Okay. Next, goodwill is impaired. Impairment आता है तुम लोगों को. NCI दिया हुआ है, NCI का वैल्यू ऑलरेडी निकाल के दिया है. Prepare the consolidated balance sheet.
Sir, in deferred, right? Sir, deferred में वो deferred वाला जो present value amount है, I just wanted to confirm वो we'll put in the liability and just add that year's का interest ना?
Correct. Add that year का interest.
Okay.
Okay. Clear है क्या सब लोगों को यहाँ तक? No problem.
Yes sir.
Okay. So ये तुम लोग try करो without looking at the solution in the study text. Try this question because this question covers whatever we have learned yesterday and whatever we have learned today. Okay.
तो इससे ऊपर का नहीं जा सकता ना?
इसके ऊपर का भी एक क्वेश्चन करेंगे ना अपन एग्जाम किट का. पर सेम ही एडजस्टमेंट्स ऑलमोस्ट सेम ही रहेंगे. एडजस्टमेंट्स विल ऑलमोस्ट बी सेम. ओके, एंड आफ्टर दैट वी विल हैव टू डू एसोसिएट वाला भी एडजस्टमेंट उसमें. ओके, सो टुडे आई विल सॉरी इन दिस वीक आई विल ट्राई टू कवर group accounting, consolidated financial statement of all your parent, subsidiary and associate. Okay, and then group elimination भी करेंगे हम लोग. And next week हम लोग सिर्फ consolidated P&L पे फोकस करेंगे and the remaining topics पे फोकस करेंगे. Okay, so enough for the day. I'll upload the cloud recording का link also in your Google Drive. That also I'll do. किसी को आज के इसमें सेशन में किसी को कोई डाउट है क्या? और एनी अदर डाउट इज रिमेनिंग दैट इज अनसॉल्व्ड और यू हैव एनी अदर डाउट?
नो सर.
ओके, ठीक है. समझा क्या आज का सबको?
हाँ समझा सर.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, chalo. I'll end the meeting then.